We say hello and sorry to say that this is not a happy day for you, Nathan Cleary. We spoke to you before the game, you were hoping to build off what you accomplished last week. So where did it get taken away from you? Because Manly were almost perfect in that first 40.
Yeah, we just killed ourselves a bit in that first 40. It was pretty much the opposite of what we wanted. A lot of stop-start footy, a lot of penalties. Pretty much all the footy was played up our end. I thought we finished the first half really well, then started the second half really well, but then it was just sort of more of the same. Drop ball, killing ourselves, and yeah, compounding with penalties.
Hey, Nath, it's Cooper. I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but just want a player's perspective around the sin bins in terms of the game. How do you get a handle that through the moments?
Yeah, it's probably one to think about, to be honest, because they just happen so regularly now, and yeah, it's probably one that we definitely need to look at and see how we handle it. I thought when we went down to 12 at the back end of the first half, we did really well. But it's having that same energy when they go down to 12 too, and we probably just slacked off a bit and thought it would just take care of itself. So yeah, it's part of the game now, I guess, and they're happening a lot, so definitely something to look at.
Hey Nathan, it's Mal, mate. Just on all that, obviously, you know, with the amount of penalties that's happening at the moment, the amount of set restarts, obviously sin bins, obviously the ability to defend errors all the time is becoming a really crucial capacity in teams to win footy games at the moment.
Yeah, it is, Mal, and it's something that we have not done well enough this whole year and again tonight. So it's frustrating in that regard. We need to be a lot more resilient. Again, I thought at times in the first half we were, but yeah, again, just not good enough.
Hey, Nath, Munster, mate. Look, unfortunately, we lost obviously with you guys, but next week against the Bronx, what do you think you need to fix up on for you guys to win next week in Magic Round?
I think there's a few things, Money. Obviously, Bronx were red hot the other night, and you know, attack is their strong suit. So I think just that, defending our errors, playing the footy at the right end of the field, and just not compounding. At the moment, we're compounding too much. It might be an error. Then we followed up with a penalty, another penalty after that. So yeah, just probably simplifying it, playing a real hard-nosed game, and getting back to what we know.
Now, I know the headlines are going to say that the four-time defending premiers are at the bottom of the ladder. That hasn't happened in the NRL for a long, long time. How does it make you guys feel to know that you're running last in the competition?
Oh, it's a terrible feeling, obviously. It's not what we want, but, you know, it is what it is. We got ourselves in this position, so we're going to have to drag ourselves out. And, you know, I still have full faith in this group and what we're doing to train and putting in the hours. It's just getting that little bit of faith in the game that we know how to play and building off that. It's not even looking at the ladder at the moment, just putting back-to-back performances together and, yeah, see where we go.
Well, Magic Round's a perfect place to start to turn it all around. Good luck against the Broncos next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Nathan Cleary there, all class, joining us on what is a tough night to be on the opposite end of that scoreboard, 26-10. Just when the Panthers were showing signs of life, no one wanted to get too carried away and say they've turned the corner, this is it, the Premiers are back. And as we mentioned, the Panthers are at the bottom of this NRL live ladder, and that hasn't happened this late into a season that a reigning Premier is running last since 2010 with the Melbourne Storm, but obviously that was a salary cap issue, and when we have to go back to 1999 to those Brisbane Broncos off the back of that 98 premiership. So Panthers in rare territory indeed. And I don't know if anyone could have foreseen quite the fall from grace that these magnificent Panthers, who have just about perfected rugby league in the last 4 or 5 years, now find themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's obviously they're going through another tough period. A tough period. I mean, they've got some great players in their club and still in their team. Senior guys, very experienced guys who played really well last week in their victory. And then you got the inconsistency of some of their younger blokes in their team, which makes things really difficult. It was 14-10, you know, after 50-odd minutes into that game. So then they had Luke Sutherland, he had that try disallowed, and all of a sudden that allowed Manly to score the next try and get away with the game. So they were in the game for 60 minutes tonight, and probably the 80 minutes they could have won it. But yeah, they're trying hard, but sometimes, Money, when you try hard, things just don't go your way.
No, like when you look at it, you want to have confidence, especially the young boys coming through. And I know they've had a lot of developing kids get taken away to other clubs, and I know they're going to have to do it tough at the moment in the Origin period as well, when they have Liam Martin and Isaiah Yeo, obviously with the New South Wales team. So they're going to have to try and somehow find a way to get themselves out of a hole. But if there's anyone that could probably do it, it'd be Ivan in the full-time premiership team there. I wouldn't count him out this yet. I know it doesn't look very pretty on the ladder, but anything can happen. You've just seen the way they've won the last 4 years of the premiership.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to know the exact answer to why Penrith find themselves in this position. 4 competitions in a row, and at the bottom of the ladder. The only thing I can say is you hear Penrith talk, Nathan, Isaiah Yeo, Ivan, they talk about the same system that won them 4, about doing the same things that got them to that place. And it stacks up. It's obviously worked, right? But it must be a breakdown between the team that's been picked being able to execute that plan and doing it like they did the last 4 years. So maybe it's a work in progress that in 10, 12 weeks' time that those more or less inexperienced players, the newer players, are able to pick up the slacks, the learnings, the expectations of what Edwards, Isaiah Yeo and Nathan want. Because last week against the Roosters, it was very Penrith-like. It was a great performance. So maybe it's just going to be this up and down period for the next couple of months until they all find that consistency.
Yeah, I agree, Cooper. And they were exposed on the left edge tonight, and that's where their 2 most inexperienced players were, Blaze Talangi and Casey McLean. So they scored 3 tries down that corridor, and they scored 1 off a kick as well down that corridor as well. So they immediately come with a really good game plan and executed it really well through their completions and their territorial advantage. Having Tommy Turvo back in the side, sneaking around out back. They exposed those younger fellas, and that's what I was saying before. It's the inconsistencies of those younger players, coming up week after week after week, and that's where they have to go to. Like you mentioned, Cooper, it might take a couple of months to nut it all out, and all of a sudden they're firing.
Yeah, maybe that right side of Alamotti, Tungo, Cleary and Martin, maybe 1 or 2 of those need to go to the other side of the field. Maybe just shore up that side defensively to put a bit more experience, a bit more know-how on that side defensively to give them a chance to hold up for longer periods.
Cam, is it trust, especially when we're talking about defensively and having that connection? Is it about just having enough games under your belt and trust and situations in the man either side of you?
I think when I was going to that period last year, obviously I had a back row and Sean Bloor, and we were probably thinking it was just going to happen last year. And then this year, me and Sean Bloor have actually had a fair few coffees and cafes and dinners, and even our left edges had dinners. So I'm not too sure if the left edge of the Penrith Panthers need to go and connect a little bit more, but that's something that I felt like myself, Blory and Howie have really, and Xavier Coates have really connected this year on a deeper level. Like we just felt like at training we were on, but we just weren't that close. So I don't know whether they will do anything like that, but I know Dylan Edwards will probably be in Origin as well. So there's a couple of big outs, and if they can obviously get those defensive systems right, if they win next week against the Broncos, I'm pretty sure they have the bye the following week. So if they can compound those wins and get those points on the board, it's not going to be so much pressure on them at the back end of the year to win games.
Maybe it is as simple as just getting to know the man.
Maybe it is, but I'll tell you what, I would get out of the road of Ola Kawatu too. If he was coming to me, I'd be backing off to my try line, and it's just hard to handle. But this is what the NRL offers you. You need to be up every week. They know it better than anyone. They've won 4 in a row. I'm not about to tell them something they don't know, but maybe there needs to be a little bit of Tungo or even Liam Martin. I would suggest Liam Martin goes to the other side of the field just to shore up that side defensively.
And just one point I want to make is 27 rounds. 3 buys, 6 points, 27 rounds. When you talk about 99, you talk about 2010. They've still got, it's only round 8. So they've still got, 19 rounds. There's still 38 odd points in the making. So there's still a chance for them to still make it.